as everybody knows, scoot this back. I don't like it close. We're here to celebrate a young man that's been with us for a year now. Matter of fact, been with us for a year on his second trip. He was with us for 3 months, decided he wanted to go back home, him and his brother. Got down there and made some bad choices. And almost wouldn't call him. Made his brother call him and asked if they could come back. And I told him yeah. But I was going to be harder on him this time than I was the first time. Now Kevin had been back probably about 6 weeks when I come to you and asked you to take over the house, right?
He actually asked me in church.
Yeah.
And I wasn't comfortable with it, and I said, let's go talk to Dave. Because I didn't want to make it look like I went behind his back.
Right.
And he agreed, and I said,
So after 6 weeks, we made him the house manager. As the house manager, he has done an awesome job. Once we gave him the house manager's job, we handed him the ministry phone. Once he got the ministry phone and he started receiving the phone calls from people needing help on a daily basis, Kevin took the initiative to hook up with every other recovery program he could in the state of Arkansas
and Missouri.
And
32 of them.
32 of them total. And if we didn't have room for somebody, Kevin would find them a place somewhere. He has sent people all the way up to St. Louis, all the way down to Little Rock. I don't even know how many people total he's helped get into a program. He's brought several into our program. And he's put a few in the other programs here in town. Kevin has become a willing vessel of God. And with every open door, he has stepped through and done the best he could. Kevin, I thank you, and I love you, and I'm going to miss you, brother. Appreciate it.
I didn't expect to. It has been my honor and my privilege to have this man in our ministry for the last year, to watch him grow from who he was to who God has made him to be. He would give you the shirt off his back if you needed it. He wasn't that way when he came in. He wasn't. God has done a lot through Kevin. And he's part of our family. Even if he goes home to his family, he's still part of this family and always will be. So it's with great honor that I present him with his 1-year certificate of completion for the Arise Outreach Program and the in-house program.
Let me set this. First of all, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. It's the first time I've ever done this. I haven't given my real testimony to anybody, so I want to thank Humbled Hearts, all the directors, all the support from Harrison. Let's get down to business. I was born in 1974 in West Memphis, Arkansas. I got one sibling, his name's Ronnie. Come from a broken home. My dad, when I was 6 years old, Ronnie was 2. He was put in Fort Pillow State Penitentiary in Lexington, Tennessee. I remember going to visit him in prison with my grandparents. And me and Ronnie had a rough childhood coming up. Went to all black elementary school, which was Wonder Elementary. Ended up being in junior high, East Junior High. Started playing football, basketball. I'm a sports fanatic. Dad was still gone. We were still, having bumpy roads. Grandma raised us while Mom worked 2 jobs. Dad finally got out of prison when I was in 10th grade, and he got off the drugs. He turned his life around, and he told us that I haven't been a good dad, but I can't take that back. But I want to try to be a dad now. And at the age of 15, I was offered a junior Babe Ruth coaching job. And I said, man, I've never done this. I've watched it on TV, and so I took it. And I coached from 1989 to 2011, okay? Anywhere from T-ball to high school. Won 17 championships. I got 50 commits that went to college, and I actually got a kid that's playing pro ball right now. So God's been a blessing in my life. Of course, I didn't really battle drugs early on. I drank. I went out on the weekends and drank. No drugs or anything. Well, the methamphetamine come out. They say the old way. The anhydrous cooking. So my cousin come got me one day and he said, let's go four-wheeler riding. And I said, where are we going, man? And he said, we went way out. And they were out there and these people were doing some crazy stuff. And he said, come on, man, go on and do it with us. And I got high. I really didn't get strung out on it. I let it go. I got high some, but I said, man, that ain't for me. So life went on and went on. Well, February 27th of 2002, my life changed forever. I got off work one day. I was working over in Memphis, and I saw my mom at my grandma's. And Mom, how are you doing? She said, I'm good. She had some food from my grandma. She said, why don't you come over to the house tonight and just eat with me and Dad? And I said, Mom, no, I'm tired. I think I'm going to go home. And went home to the apartment. Oh, rang at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was the fire department. They said, your Mom and Dad's trailer's on fire. And I got on the phone with Ronnie and I said, I'm coming, man. I don't know what's going on. And we probably drove 105 miles an hour from Marion to West Memphis. And as I pulled around, I see fire trucks and stuff everywhere. And half the trailer's burned. And I just said, man, no way. I happened to look over at Dan. She was covered in the sheet. I happen to know Mike Allen. He was one of the investigators. He said, Devin, they're gone. I said, what happened? He said, we believe it's smoke inhalation. And I told Ronnie, I said, I gotta know. So I get back home and I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He said, just calm down. Well, the night went on. He said, we're going to go up to the nursing home, and the funeral home. They're going to let us see Mom. I said, well, they're not going to let us see Dad? He said, probably not. He's burned beyond recognition. I'll never forget, I walked in there. There she lay, right over the sheet by she just had bloody sweat on her lips. And I just walked away. And about 4 or 5 hours later, Ken Hill was with the coroner. He said, Kevin, he said, your Mom's got a ring on her finger. The birthday was still a ring. She got you and Ronnie's birthstone on it. He said, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it off. I said, you better get it off. He said, I think I'm going to cut it off. I said, no, you're not. you're gonna get it off. Well, got another call and they got it off, you know. Well, you know, Robbie started getting bad, and I was too. I started drinking. And we ended up having Mom and Dad's service. And I told Ronnie, I said, man, we can't do this. And I just kept on drinking. I stayed drunk for 365 days straight after Mom and Dad passed. And I'll never forget, a pastor come to me last minute and said, Kevin, said, is that what your mom and dad would want? I said, no. He said, are you going to lay in the hole or are you going to get up? So I got up. Well, about 2 weeks later, I was at a bar, and this girl that I went to school with, we had a prior relationship. I was getting ready to walk out of the bar, and she grabbed me and took me home. And we ended up getting together, and probably about a year later, she was pregnant. So here comes my first miracle. Maddie's born in November 18th of 2003. So I become a father. And from 28 to 46, I didn't do nothing. I stayed straight, no drugs, no nothing. And then in September 22nd of 2008, Mallory was born, so I got 2 babies. And life's going good. And so June 11th of 2011, me and Leslie had been kind of on the out, so I went to Memphis to my cousins, and I got off work that day, and I happened to be in the house, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it, but I was coming through the den area, and I blew myself back on the couch with a 12-gauge pump in the chest, okay? All I remember is laying on the ground. My cousin came in, he bailed on me, he left me for dead. And my ex-wife at the time, Leslie's ex-husband, drove all the way from South Haven, Mississippi, climbed through the back window and hovered on me. And all I could hear is, Kevin, please don't die on me. And I reached over and I looked at my chest, and it was like an apple. I was bleeding out. So I ended up going to the med. 14 surgeries later, I'll never forget, I was in trauma ICU, and the surgeon come up to me. He was sitting next to my bed, and he said, Kevin, I hate to tell you this. He said, we got 2 choices here. We can either amputate, or you got a 10% chance to live. And I said, how quick can we get to the operating room? So, ended up doing an amputation. I went home. I spent 3 months there. I went home. About a month later, I was in the bedroom, and Leslie comes in and drops divorce papers on me. Oh man, you talking about a nightmare. I mean, it was just purely hell, buddy. And at first, I kind of took it bad the wrong way. I was going off on her. We were having our differences, and then divorce was final, and then I started acting fool. I mean, I started drinking again. Well, cut to the chase, about 2.5 years ago, Ronnie was at a motel with Lisa, the girl up here. I get a phone call. He says, man, I wouldn't do any drugs, didn't even know anything about it. He called me, he said, man, come bring us a bottle, man. I said, what are you talking about? He said, just bring us a bottle of liquor. I said, okay. So I get this girl to come pick me up, and I run upstairs, I hand him the bottle, and he's like, man, why don't you stay with us and kick it? I said, no, I don't do that. So I get back in the car with this girl, and she says, Kevin, do you get right? And I said, no. I said, I used to get high a long time ago. She said, I'll tell you what, why don't you try this? She handed me a little piece of something. It would kind of look like that right there. The dope went inside of that little piece right there. That right there changed my life forever. I said, what am I going to do with that? I don't snort, I don't shit. She said, eat it. I said, you mean to tell me you're going to let me eat toilet paper? So I ate it, and off the races I went. 3 days later, I'm calling her again. Hey, bring me some more of that. Bring me some more of that. Well, I kept going to motel rooms, and I was buying it, and I was 7 days a week, man. I'm blowing and going, man. I mean, I didn't care. I mean, I was taunting the police, running backwards in the street. I mean, it was just horrible. It was a horrible life. And I went on a couple of binges, and these girls just kept feeding it to me and feeding it to me, and I got down to 163 pounds. And a lady that knew me in town, I went up to do my clothes, and she said, Kevin, you're losing a lot of weight. She said, what is wrong with you? I said, well, you know, I got diabetes. You know, I'm on a diet. She said, bull blank. You're doing meth. I said, yeah. She said, go get some help. Well, I went to Liberty Mills down in Searcy. I did 30 straight days, full intense rehab. I get out that day, and they got me a bus ticket lined up to go back home. And I'm sitting at the come and go station, and I get a phone call from Lisa. Why don't you come over to my apartment? I'm right across from the rehab till you catch your bus. I said, okay. So I get over there, and she said, you want to go to Bald Knob? I said, that ain't home. I'm going to West Memphis. She said, no, we're going to run to Bald Knob real quick. I don't know nobody in Bald Knob. 100 mile an hour going down the street, and she stops at the liquor store and buys all kinds of bottles of liquor. The next thing I know, I'm out on a farm, and I'm coming back to Searcy with 2 8-balls and a dog. And the man driving the car had a warrant out. So I'm thinking, hell, I done graduated rehab, and I'm back in the sober living, and I got everybody sober living high. Not that I'm glorified. I mean, I had the whole sober living high. So I'm still sitting there thinking, man, I got about an hour to get on this bus. She said, oh, they'll refund you your money. No. Needless to say, I got back to West Memphis 5 days later. Okay? So that 30 days was down the drain. Well, I get back home, Ronnie comes around, we start acting up again, of course, running wild. And finally, I end up at the Super 8 motel. And we've been rolling and rolling. And Mike knocks on the door. It's a maintenance man. He said, y'all better get out of here now. The law's coming. We know y'all doing dope, and we know y'all running prostitutes. I said, we're doing the first, but we ain't doing the second. I said, Ronnie, pack it up and let's go. And we ran out of there. So we got out of Dodge there, and we just kept on and kept on. And finally, he called me. He said, I'm going to rehab. I said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to Harrison. Really? What in the world's up there? Oh, I know what's up there. I've heard that's the most racist town in America. That's what I've heard. I said, home of the KKK, correct? I mean, not that I'm pointing fingers, but I said, good luck to you. So I ended up in Jonesboro at St. Bernard's. I had been on a 10-day binge. I spent $1,200 on dope. I crawled. No, actually, I had my duffel bag. I walked out of Super 8, man. I was sweating. There's pus pockets in the side of my mouth. I looked like a total wreck, man. Well, I walked out, and I looked down. Nobody answered the phone. Of course not. You know, when you're getting high. So I said, Lord, I go 2 ways. I can go right, which is the hospital, or I can go left to the dope girls. I walked 2.3 miles. I went right down to the hospital. Man, I mean, I was drained, man. I'd been up 10 days, hadn't eaten in 10 days, and I walked through that ER and I crawled up to the window. And that lady said, sir, are you okay? And I said, no. I said, I am addicted to methamphetamine. I am not leaving this hospital until you put me in a program, 12 months. So they sent me to Jonesboro, but I got a hold of Ronnie. I said, hey man, is there anybody up here that would accept me? Well, he gave me Recovery of Those Hearts, which is Rodney Baber. And I talked to him, I said, look, my brother's over in Humboldt Hearts, can you accept me? He said, yeah. So I went over there, and I spent one night, and it was kind of quiet, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I called Ronnie back, and I said, hey man, can you get me in over there, man? I'm thinking I'm fixing to leave. And he said, yeah, let me do some talking. He said, Trish hollered at me and said, do you still want to come? I said, come on. So he picked me up the next morning, and I came. That's my first stint. Well, we had a little rocky road the first time we was here. I was a little aggravated because of how that nasty the house was. You know, I'm a clean freak, you know. So I told Ronnie one night, I said, man, I'm ready to go back home. So out of my character, and I still have to apologize to those 3 directors back there. I treat this profession like a job. I bailed out like a chicken, okay? I didn't tell them where I was going. I just told Ronnie I had it all planned, let's leave. So we get back home, and we get us a room out in Marion, a little town outside of West Memphis. I walk up to my room, and lo and below, who's standing there? The dope man. I said, oh my God, I know where this is leading. So we get in our room, and the dope man's here, the weed man's here, and the liquor store's down the street. I said, this ain't gonna be good. And Ronnie said, let's get us a ride to West Memphis. I said, okay. I'm just in the back seat. So he goes over to one of our buddies' house. He's been in there about 10 minutes, and I'm nervous. You know what I mean? I ain't had no drugs on me or anything. He comes back out, man. He gets in the back seat of that car, and he is smiling like he hit the lottery. I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? He pulled out something, looked like a golf ball. I said, Lord have mercy. I said, I know where this is going. So about 8 days later, I done drank so much stuff and did so much stuff. I said, Ronnie, please call them folks. He said, who you talking about? I said, call Steve. I ain't got the balls to call him. Excuse my language. I didn't have to go and ask to call him. So Ronnie gets on the phone and I said, let me talk to him. I said, man, I'm drinking beer. He said, how's that working out for you? I said, it ain't.
That's why I'm calling you.
So I said, call Kyle, man. I said, I'm laying in the bed. I said, man, I'm about to die. I mean, I've been drinking so much, doing what. He ordered a pizza. I said, man, throw that thing away, man. I wasn't hungry. He laughed and gave me. I said, man, I got to get back up there. So I remember the first day I came back, him and Shane was back there. I said, Steve, man, I got to go to bed. I had hair all over my face, looking like a junkie, like always. Been high. I said, don't drug test me, man, you know. It ain't gonna do no good. I'll burn the cup up. So, thank God they accepted me back. And I made a promise to Marika, Steve, and Trish that I would commit for a year, that I would graduate. Has it been a rocky road? Yeah. But, buddy, I'm so thankful to be here. God has delivered me from the mess I've been in. And I laid some books on this table here. You know, I've had people argue with me about classes and NA, AA, and all this stuff. This is the only book. Are you hearing me? I'm not against AA. I'm not against NA. That's the only book. That's what got me sober right there. Okay? Is that good stuff? Yeah. But that's the only way. And I had a guy argue with me in AA and say, oh, the big book's the Bible. No, sir. That's the only way. And if I never got into that, I never would have got out of this mess. I gave it all to God. Because I was a liar, a manipulator, a meth head, a dope head. You can't trust him. earned that title. A lot of guys and girls want to get mad at their folks. Look in the mirror. That's the problem. You're mad at mama. Mama won't let me come over. What'd you steal from her? Grandma won't let me sleep on the couch. You probably stole the couch. Are you feeling me?
Come on.
And you want to get mad at your folks? Well, look at the bridges you burned. I did. You know, but now I made amends. That's what sobriety brings. Sobriety brings joy. And you got to have it with God, man. You got to be strong in your faith. You know, I tell all the guys in the house, don't let the devil win today. And get to midnight. So, we want another day. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. Pastor Richie, I love you. Will always love you. Trish, Steve, Marika, I will never forget y'all. Y'all give me a chance to get my life together. I will pray for this ministry. I'll pray for the guys in the ministry. But there's one guy in this room that I must single out. Tim Middleton, come up here, buddy.
Come on now.
Look here, man. When I tell you this guy's genuine, he's genuine. I remember when he first came in, he was on that couch. He was just doing that and doing that. And I said, some of the guys in the house said, man, what's wrong with him? I said, what do you think's wrong with him? He's high as a kite. I said, well, wait till tomorrow. So what was it, about a month later?
Yeah.
I get a phone call and he's in jail. And I said, wow. I said, you know what, Tim? Tim called me 3 times. He said, man, I want to come back when I get out. I said, call me. So you gave me that call, didn't you? And I said, well, we ain't got room, but we got a couch. So I called Trish. What'd I say, Trish? We got to have him back on. I said, Tim, are you okay with the couch? What'd you say?
Yeah,
I'll sleep under the couch.
I was in jail for 90 days, yeah, I'll sleep under the couch.
let me tell you folks something. You ain't gonna find anybody real than this, but me and him hug each other every day and tell each other we love each other. That's what the humbleness I get out of this. This man told me, he said, Kevin, this is the most sober I've ever been. Buddy, I love you.
Love you too, bro.
So, that's what I get out of this. It's not only me being sober, but the guys being sober. Getting their kids back. Getting jobs. That's, no money will ever pay for that. You know, how joyful it is to see Tim on the phone, his grandkids. He showed me last night, right, Tim? Look at them babies. You know, that's humble. That's being humble. I'm not here to glorify myself tonight. I'm ready to glorify him.
Yes, amen.
He's the one brought me out of hell. If he can resurrect this mess, he can resurrect anything. Youth coach, turn to a drug addict. Back to where I've been. Addiction's real, folks. I love each and every one of you. I want to thank you for coming out. Keep up the good work in the ministry. If you ever get anybody in addiction, don't throw them to the wayside. Give them some help.
Amen.
And I'm gonna close in this. I'm gonna go to the Bible. My favorite scripture, word of scripture. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthen me. Thank you.
Kevin,
Is that him?
it's your brother.
Hey, brother, what's up? Just doing this speech, man. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just laying back with some ribs and potatoes, and the ribs and a cup of fire.
Well, say something to me. I'll be there tomorrow, okay?
All right, tell them I'll say hello.
All right, will do. Here they are. Take care. See you tomorrow. All right, bye.